Every time the 1UP Superstar Series arrives at Talladega Superspeedway, all 42 drivers in the field know they have a shot at taking the checkered flag when it's all said and done. And this time is no exception. For 57 laps around this 2.66 mile superspeedway where 3 and 4 wide racing is the norm, the big one is always a risk, and anything can happen here on these high banks in central Alabama. Alongside me in the booth to bring all the action from Talladega is James Ellison once again. This is going to be a real crapshoot. Everybody's got a shot to win, but that means everybody's going to be plenty aggressive to try and get an early lead.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we look at last year. It was pretty good racing. Not so much on the wrecking side of things, but it was still really good racing, and I don't expect anything different this year.
Yeah. A new package has been brought here to Talladega to decrease speeds and increase close quarters racing. Hopefully we achieve that here today, as we can now bring you the starting lineup for today's 57 laps at Talladega. Christian Vargas becomes the first two-time pole sitter in a season in 1UP since 2021, and he takes his second pole of the season ahead of Jared Polansky in second position. He needs a good run to springboard his season. JD Martin likewise needs a strong run here. He starts third. Mark David, a Monza winner, and Ben McDonnell, a winner as well at Atlanta this season, rounds out the top five. And although it doesn't really matter where you start here, so even Dylan Young, who took a grid penalty for an accident at Phoenix, even he can run up at the front if things go his way. But you gotta be careful because the big one can strike at any moment.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can either have a lot of good racing and no cars going to the garage in a scrap heap, or chaos. You never know. It could be anywhere in between there. And I'm sure that the drivers would love to see another race where they just come home cleanly, but I don't think they need to be having their hopes that high.
So, with that being said, we have 42 cars ready to take the risk at Talladega, and we are ready to bring you 57 laps of intense racing action from the world's fastest superspeedway. This is the 1UP Superstar Series from Talladega Superspeedway, so stay tuned because the green flag's moments away, and who knows what'll happen after that. As the pace car pulls in the pit road, Christian Vargas and Jared Polansky lead us into the tri-oval towards the start-finish line that lies just beyond it. This is Talladega Superspeedway for the 1UP Superstar Series. Heading past the restart zone, they can go whenever they like, and from here on out, it's going to be flag-to-flag racing action from here as the green flag drops on the field at Talladega.
Yeah, and pretty good start so far. Dead even for Vargas and Polansky, and they're fanning out, already jockeying, looking for positions, and oh my goodness, already 3 wide, Autumn Koger.
Yeah, she's making a move. This is her first start here at Talladega in the Superstar Series, so anything's possible within this race. We're only halfway through the first lap, but they're already 3 and 4 wide in some places. It takes about a lap or so to get up to full speed with this new package, as Ben McDonnell pulls down in front of Koger now to try and make a move, but Martin blocks him off.
Martin blocked off in an attempt to try to get inside Vargas, who saw that and blocked himself. Man, and now Polansky's finding himself without a dancing partner at the moment, but it's still early on.
Coming out of turn 4 into the tri-oval they come. They should be up to almost full speed now, and as they roar through the tri-oval towards the start-finish line, it will be Christian Vargas who leads lap 1 here at Talladega.
Yep, and that's just what he wants, and he wants to be able to keep them all back there, but the fact that they're 3 wide behind him, and already that defense didn't work out as he got Martin and Koger to his inside. 3 wide for the lead.
Yeah, this is going to be the story all race long. A shuffle for the lead constantly up front. Koger comes up to block Martin, but that allows Eric Monaco to her inside. And we've already got a smoker in the back. Someone's race has ended early, and it's Jason Parker in the 76.
That is unfortunate. Races like this give drivers like him a very, very good chance to have an opportunity to get a good finish and maybe move himself up higher in the points to maybe secure a better points position, but obviously not going to be the case today.
No,
Very
it will
unfortunate.
not. It will not, but he will be saddled with a 42nd place finish as they're really close going into turn one. 3 wide, Autumn Koger, Mashburn and Sanders, they get together. They're
That's
coming up the
not
track.
right.
Oh dear, Autumn Koger into the catch fence. She's flying up and over end. It's Autumn Koger in a terrible crash to start this race.
I honestly, I don't know how many people got through that. I saw a few, but man, so many people, and Emma Carter there trying to weave through without getting any damage. But oh, this is definitely going to really change things.
Very few made it through that wreck. I see the McMillan and McDonald made it through. Eric Monaco's the leader, but look at all these cars now out of the race. Ryan Vasquez with a heavy amount of damage in this caution flag coming out for the first time on lap number 3. Vasquez very slow down the backstretch. Lane Sanders in his home race with a lot of damage. Sam Donato's got a lot. Mashburn's got damage. Duke Ansak's got a lot of damage. Polanski's got a bit as well. This is really going to shake up the order as we're under caution for the first time on lap number 4 for a horrific crash into turn number 1. Oh man, you can't. The big one strikes early. Maybe these guys got a little too aggressive a little too early.
This is, oh my, I don't know what to say.
It's hard to predict this sort of thing, but you just know it's going to happen at one point or another. And you can see only 9 cars initially made it through that. You see a few more further back. But this is going to severely deplete the field here at Talladega already. We still have over 50 laps to go, and we've already got a catastrophic incident in turn 1 to bring out the caution flag. Look at all these cars that are done for the day already.
Yeah, that's you already got some already in the garage, and so this doesn't completely do it justice, but man, so many good cars that were already
Anderson
having a
Reed's
good
got
start.
damage as well in the 5 car. Stephen Gale looks like he's going to try and repair his damage, but everybody else might be done for. Mark Davey, he's got a lot of damage, and Fitzwater's got a little on his right side. A couple of cars are going to come to pit road, probably to get some damage repair, a few of them to retire from the race. But it's not going to be a good day for half the field here at Talladega. Their hopes of winning are done. And for Autumn Koger, that was a horrific incident. End over end, into the catch fence, not at all what you want to see. Especially this early in the race, but anytime, really. It just goes to show you the incidents at Talladega can be very severe. We're going to get you a replay of what happened to this 19 car and the rest of the field just in a short while here at the world's fastest superspeedway. It all starts at the front of the field. Mashburn washes up in the lane, Sanders, and they just pin Koger into the wall, and she just goes flying end over end into that catch fence. It's a miracle she didn't go out of the racetrack right there. Bobo Jones with a lot of flips as well. He lands on all 4s as well. This is just a chaotic incident. You see Mashburn involved. Aaron Hall's out of the race. Brantley Gage and Emma Carter had to come to a full stop to avoid getting piled in.
That was scary.
Another look at this. We'll try and get a look further back. You see, Bobo Jones had lost the lead group, and then it all starts here. They just start piling into each other. Some people checking up, some people not. And then Bobo Jones and Ryan Vasquez came onto the scene at a rate of knots. Devin Fair goes flipping over as well. 3 cars upside down in this one accident that takes at least half the field out of the running here at Talladega.
And I couldn't help but notice Emma Carter did get a little bit of damage from some of them just sliding in, but should be able to continue on. Oh, yeah. It's over.
One more look at this from a far shot. Autumn Koger. This is one of the worst wrecks I've ever seen in one-up superstar competition. It'll be a miracle if she comes out of this with minor injuries at best. This is catastrophic, not just for her, but for every single car involved in this crash. They're all going to be out of the race on just the second lap, and it hurts to see all these very good cars out early. Oh my goodness, we've got a lap to go until the race restarts. Eric Monaco is your race leader. He was somehow fortunate enough to be out in front when the accident occurred. McDonald, McMillan, second and third. A great day for Ventum Motorsports if they can keep it together. And a good day for Kings Motorsports as well. Polanski got a lot of damage in that wreck. He's still running, but he's probably not going to be on pace for the rest of the race. But the other two, Cale Tescar Jr. and Roberto Crown Jr., they ran that the top 5. We've got a lot of drivers still in contention. Who knows? We might even see a first-time winner here.
It's looking more and more likely as a lot of the winners of the past are now out of this event, and well, the field may have been cut in half, but I'd still say don't put the party hats away. The fun's not over yet.
As Stephen Gale, he managed to repair his damage. He'll be a little off pace, but he will be able to rejoin the race 2 laps down. But everybody else is still on the lead lap. We have 24 still running at Talladega Superspeedway after a horrendous crash on lap number 3 that has eliminated many of the favorites, and hopefully, yeah, you can see them all here. Vargas was taken out of the race, and actually Devin Fair, both of the main Revolution cars were taken out in that crash. So Justin Henley's their only hope once again this week. You look at, but both Finguy cars made it through. They were running just outside the top 10. Hutchinson made it through. He's pretty much the only car left from his team. You just gotta wonder what could possibly happen next as the pace car gets ready to pull off, and we're gonna get this race restarted on lap number 8.
Yeah, and you talk about it with a lot of the different things going on. That grid penalty that Dylan Young had, it saved his race here. We see that was a saving grace for him as we get ready to go back to green, and let's see what happens from here.
Yep, Eric Monaco on the outside. Stephen Gale 2 laps down on the inside. After a lengthy cleanup, we are back to racing at Talladega. Henley's the first one to pull down to the bottom. Tescar joins him down there. Could Jake McMillan go as well? He is. But the question is, will Stephen Gale get fully up to speed? If he doesn't, those guys are going to be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, that's going to be the real challenge here. But Monaco, you don't want to get too far out ahead because things could get real interesting for him real quick here. But looks like he's holding his own for the moment.
And look at the field already stringing out. A lot of cars with damage are fading further behind the leaders. But it's Monaco and McDonnell leading the way right now. Behind them, a big pack trying to get around Stephen Gale, and it looks like a lot of them have. It is McMillan, Henley, and Bouchard leading the way behind the 2 leaders up front. And Austin Zorgan from 10th on the restart. He's now fighting for a spot in the top 5 on his debut race.
On him, and it's in a positive way, which is good. You don't want to make a bad impression on your first race, and he's definitely making a very good impression at the moment, as there's a little bit more shuffling right behind him.
And don't forget that Zorgan, as he pulls down the work with Jake McMillan, he's got an alliance with Finguy Saitomi Motorsports. This is an FPM prepared car, and he's currently outrunning both of the Works Finguy cars. So Zorgan doing a fantastic job. He's working on Henley for 4th at the moment.
Yeah, meanwhile, Monaco just enjoying holding on to the lead, but he better be careful. He's got to watch out, and looks like he might actually have a teammate coming into the picture here.
That would be Daniel Bouchard, who has not won in a very long time. It's been since Iowa 2020 that Bouchard last went to victory lane. This is going to be very interesting for the remainder of this race, as McMillan dives to the inside of Monaco now for the race lead.
Yeah, and well, looks like they're not going to be working together as teammates at the moment there, Monaco and Bouchard, but that doesn't mean that they're gonna be fighting too hard. It is early, and they saw what happened with fighting too hard too early. And be careful back there.
It's going to be real interesting for the rest of this race, as Bouchard now gets to the inside of Jake McMillan for the lead. He's got a push from Cale Tescar Jr. and Echo Evans-Ross. They're coming out of the 4th turn into the tri-oval. We got 15 cars in the mix now. They're probably going to be your top 15 finishers if all goes to plan. Austin Holloman doing his absolute best to hang on to this lead pack, but inevitably he's not going to be able to keep up.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but one thing we can say for sure, he ain't going to finish in the back half of the field today.
Yeah, he was the first retirement the last 2 races, so he's guaranteed now a top 25 finish, which is loads better than what he had been doing, and he might even get a top 20 at this rate because a lot of the cars behind him are just not able to keep up.
And that's going to be a positive for him. He just needs to ride around. He'd love to be up here racing in this pack, but I think he's happy with where he's at the moment. As top 10's really shuffling around. You see, I see Echo Evans Ross there getting into the picture. She got through. Teskar holding the lead, but that's not going to have to be that way for long. Here comes the 39.
A push from Cam Cole, a rookie in this series, in the 27. This is his first race at Talladega, so he's doing a very nice job. He avoided the big one early, and he's doing a fantastic job now, as Evans Ross goes for the lead with a push from the 27.
Yeah, this is definitely good. We talked about Cam Cole a few times. He's usually been talked about as he's being lapped, but this is definitely positive here. You see Emma Carter, we were talking about it earlier. Got a little bit of damage.
Oh, we could get more trouble here. Teskar and Evans Ross. How did they save those race cars?
I cannot believe what I just watched. That was some impressive driving by both Teskar and Evans Ross, and here comes Bouchard now trying to take advantage of that mess.
Heck, Tescar's even kept the lead through all that. That is an incredible accomplishment for both Cale Teskar Jr. and Echo Evans Ross. They got together going into turn 3. They slid down the racetrack. Somehow, they were able to keep control of those cars. It's just an incredible save. That might be a nomination for Save of the Season right there. But we still got a long way to go, both in this race and in the 2023 season. But we still have 15 cars in the mix for victory here on lap number 13.
And Evans Ross recovering from that close call, going 3 wide for the lead here with help from Jeff Bolton right behind her, and Roberto Crown Jr. trying to recover from being shuffled back after dealing with the wounded number 2, which has clearly long been shuffled out of the pack.
Yeah, A.J. Jones bringing up the rear, trying to hang on to the lead group. He's the only driver on his team still in contention, but it's going to be a drag race between the 39 and 38. Give it to Echo Evans Ross, who leads at the line by 1/100th of a second. It's an incredible battle for the lead, despite the few number of cars in this battle. But Jeff Bolton goes to the lead now. In this 38, he's riding a long winless streak as well, dating back to Brands Hatch of 2020. Will he be able to snap it here today? Only time will tell. But he's got a lot of challengers going for him for the lead right now.
A lot of challengers and a lot of racing left to try to hold that lead, but got a lot of hungry drivers that either also had a long time since they won, or they've already won this year and still want to get another one. I'm sure Henley would love to go back to back.
Wouldn't he just? But the question is, will Jeff Bolton be able to lead this lap? Is it coming out of the tri-oval? No. McDonald gets him at the line, so Bolton will have to wait till another time to try and get his bonus point. But now here comes Henley to the inside with a push from Cam Cole and Dylan Young in the 29. This is a fantastic run for Dylan Young, who, remember, started last because of a grid drop penalty from last week at Phoenix, and now he's pushing into the top 5.
Pushing in the top 5 and trying to go for the lead. Henley comes down to block, but do not count D Young out. He's gonna be determined to make things work and get that victory if it's possible.
And remember, he's getting a push from his alliance partner, Austin Zorgan. So those two are working well together in their alliance. But it's so far Justin Henley who's been in control of this race by a decent margin. He's got about 1/10.5 on the field. Oh, Zorgan and Cole make contact. They somehow don't get into a wreck there, but that does allow Eric Monaco to the inside.
Monaco wants that lead back. He's still got to get past Young and Henley to do it, but he's hungry. We got a lot of hungry drivers here. Like I said, they've either not won in a long time or never won, and they really want this victory.
Yeah, you got Eric Monaco, who's never won. Dylan Young's never won. Austin Zorgan, obviously, has never won. Echo Evans Ross, yet to go to victory lane here. Daniel Bouchard, it's been a while for him. Roberto Crown Jr.'s never won in the Superstar Series. A.J. Jones, Cam Cole, they've never won. So we've got a lot of drivers in this pack who could very well get their first career win here today. And with the depleted field the way it is, the odds get better and better for them each lap.
Odds getting better and better, and honestly, I definitely have to say that if things stay like this, we are looking at the contenders for the win, clearly.
Well, obviously, because Austin Holloman's falling further and further back, and no one else is even in the picture anymore. So these are going to be your cars battling it out for the win here at Talladega. Question is, with a pit stop approaching, we're about halfway through a fuel run right now. The question is, with a pit stop on the way, who's going to get separated from the pack during that cycle?
Find out. Going for the lead once again, this time trying to take it from Henley, and I think he might actually get it at the line.
Not quite. Henley did lead that one lap. But Tescar's going at it once again, and he's got a push from McMillan and Cam Cole. So Tescar makes his way back to the lead. He's looking for redemption after a rough outing at Phoenix.
Yeah, he needs this. And him and Devin Fair, but obviously Fair's going to have to wait another week. But Tescar, he still has a chance to redeem himself from the problems he's had.
For sure, but this is going to be very tight. As Cam Cole makes a move for the lead, get out of the turn 4. Will he be able to hold on to it? He's going to get pushed up high. I think Echo Evans-Ross is going to steal this one from him. But man, what a job this 27 team did to get from where they started in this race to the front of the field. An incredible outing for Cam Cole. He started this race 22nd, and he's in contention to lead for the first time in his career.
In contention is one thing. Actually getting the lead is another thing, as he is being reminded every time he gets cycled out of the front. But yeah, honestly, that wreck did him a favor, gave him a chance to show the fans what he's got.
And you saw a few lap cars back there. You saw Chris Lattimore, Stephen Gale, Jared Polanski. They're all running several seconds off the pace. And this lead group will catch them before the pit cycle begins. My question is, will it cycle out a few guys who get trapped behind some of those lappers?
Yeah, you never know. It could be the case, and it's going to be frustrating. And if any of these guys get caught, and gals get caught behind in any of the lap cars, I'm stumbling on my words here, but it's going to be frustrating. That's for sure.
Yeah, it might even cost you a chance at the win because they might take you out of the lead draft entirely. But look at Dylan Young from 42nd on the grid to the lead in only just 20 laps. Dylan Young's making a push for it.
Like I said, he wants to make up for that mistake from Phoenix that cost him a good starting spot, and take the chance that was given to him by being able to avoid the wreck by being penalized.
Whoa, Crown and Monaco make contact for the tri-oval. That could have been bad.
Well, at least they saved it. That's a good thing. Is Young was probably getting told, watch out, they might wreck, and then they didn't, which, no, that's a good thing here, is we got another battle for the lead.
This time it's Bouchard underneath Young with a push from Austin Zorgan. So this 73 is quite quick. We'll see if he can break that long winless drought and just get his season back on track. You see these 3 lap cars. They're about half a straightaway ahead of the lead pack. They are going to be caught very soon, and this 15-car pack might shrink even more as a result of them catching those guys.
Yeah, they are 3 wide, 5 deep roughly, and, well, for a few seconds there they were, but honestly, this is pretty good racing, even for this field being shrunk down to where it's at now.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I would have loved to have all 42 cars in the mix for victory, but sometimes racing just happens that way. I think these guys have learned their lesson now. You don't need to race that aggressively this early. They're settling into a rhythm here. Tescar led the lap, but Henley making a charge towards the lead. Well push from Cam Cole. These guys are learning with each lap. You don't need to be aggressive until you have to be.
Yeah, and that'll definitely, the aggression will definitely pick up toward the end of the race. And excuse me, it's going to be good to see Cam Cole up here once again.
Yeah, Cam Cole doing a fantastic job for the tiny BTB Motorsports team. Remember, both his teammates were eliminated before we even completed 2 laps. Brandon Beal in that massive crash, and Jason Parker of a blown engine right before the accident happened. So Cole's carrying the banner for BTB Motorsports, and he's doing a great job running in 2nd place now. Be interesting to see if he can lead a lap before this thing's all said and done. But you see those lap cars up ahead. They are going to be caught very soon, and that could throw a huge wrench into everybody's plans.
Yeah, you gotta be thinking. Anyone listening to the radios of these drivers has got to be hearing the spotters telling them, "Be ready. We don't know where they're going. They're fighting side by side." And we're about to see how interesting this is going to get.
Oh, and here they come. They've backed up quite a bit to try and get around these guys. They're around Stephen Gale for the most part, but they got to get around Lattimore and Polanski as well. I think the inside line should be okay, but Cale Tescar Jr., Jake McMillan, everybody in that outside lane, they're going to be in quite a bit of trouble here.
Especially considering Lattimore and Polanski decided they're going to go side by side here for I don't know if it's even for position, but I guess it don't matter. They're in the way.
They are indeed in the way. You saw Austin Zorgan pull down to the bottom. I expect Dylan Young will follow him down there, and he does. Oh, man, this is going to be really heartbreaking for Tescar and Crown, especially because McMillan makes it to the bottom. Polanski's trying to hang on as best he can, but this is going to really hurt the Kings Motorsports team. As Crown and Polanski, they're starting to lose touch with the leaders a little bit.
Yeah, this is going to be really bad if they cannot, if Tescar and Crown cannot get by these two, because that, like how we were talking earlier, Tescar wants to redeem himself from the problems he's been having. This is certainly not helping it.
No, and add Dylan Young to that list as well. He might lose touch with the leaders as well. So then there were 12 here at Talladega. Jake McMillan just barely hanging on to the lead group. Dylan Young, he's going to try his best. But for Tescar and for Crown, I think they're going to lose the pack right here. And they're not out of it quite yet. They still have around the pit stops to go. But they're going to have to really work hard to try and make this race work from here.
I'm sure Crown and Tescar both were fuming into their helmets. I'm frustrated for them, honestly.
But back at the front of the field, we have Justin Henley now out in the lead of this race with A.J. Jones running second. They got another lap car up ahead and Felix Anderson. So these guys are not out of the woods yet. And I think, yeah, Crown, Tescar, and Young, they've lost it now. They're all over 2 seconds off the lead draft now. It's going to be a miracle for them to get back into this mix. But that's just part of Superspeedway racing. I'm sure there will be meetings going forward to see how better we can address lap traffic going forward at Superspeedways. But for now, that's going to be a load of trouble for the two Kings cars and Dylan Young.
Yeah, now it's just ride around and hope something happens to get them back into this. Henley's still doing a great job here as Monaco tries to go for second.
And he's got help.
His teammate with him.
Yep, got help from his teammate Bouchard and Jeff Bolton for good measure. But it's going to be Henley who leads once again. Henley's been doing a good amount of leading in this race, despite the chaotic nature of the racetrack. So that's a good car he's got under him. And could he go 2 for 2 and wins this season?
It would be something. Come in, leave the series for a while, and come back. Get put in a car that's been vacated weeks prior and had a rotation of drivers. You get back-to-back wins your first 2 starts. I honestly think he would not be complaining.
No, he definitely would not. But he's got 2 fast Genesis cars behind him, Monaco and Bouchard, working together in the draft. And then 3 wide, a couple rows deep behind that. So Henley's got to do a little bit of work to try and hang on to this lead. But as we come now to 30 laps to go, we're closing in on halfway here at Talladega. Anything's still possible.
It is, and here come the Genesis teammates on the inside of Henley, who's finally being dethroned from the lead for now.
Right now, it is Eric Monaco leading the way, and look at Henley's got no help on the top of the racetrack as they come up on Felix Anderson to lap him. This should be a lot easier for these guys to navigate because it's only 1 car this time and not a handful of them side by side. As Bouchard pulls out on his teammate, try and get the lead himself.
Yep, he just said, "Thank you, teammate. Let me get the lead for you. You can have it back another day."
And here, and Bouchard makes a swift chop down to the inside to try and get around the 53. And Anderson's got enough damage on his car to where he will not be able to keep up with the pack. And that's going to slow down Eric Monaco, Ben McDonald, Justin Henley, and a few others. Monaco gets around, but the 12 and the 4 are going to have the tuck-in line pretty quickly here.
Watching Henley here, see if he does, and he does. And we're going to see here McDonald. Is he going to? No, he's not. He's stuck. This is not what he wanted.
No, but I think he'll be able to get in line behind the 4, and this shouldn't be as bad for Henley and McDonald. They should be able to catch back up pretty quickly. But that's Anderson dealt with. Now, it's Bouchard in the lead with a push from Emma Carter. As, yeah, it looks like Henley and McDonald will be able to catch back up soon. But it's Bouchard out front right now with Carter second, Cole third, and then 3 wide from there on back.
I thought they'd settled out, but here comes Echo Evans Ross again, trying to remind you, hey, I'm still here.
Yeah, that 39's doing a fantastic job in this race. But now it's Emma Carter underneath Bouchard without any help. Cole's out there pushing the 73, and that's probably going to give Bouchard the lead back because Carter's got no help unless Echo Evans Ross comes along. But I don't think that's going to happen because A.J. Jones with a push from Jake McMillan coming down. Oh, Evans!
Oh!
Makes a block. That's a fantastic block, and that gets her behind Emma Carter. They're going to try and work together now.
Yeah, it's a little too late to be able to get by Cole and Bouchard, but they've got some chances here, especially with pit stops coming. We'll see what happens.
And we are now well past halfway in this race, so it is official from here on out. Daniel Bouchard holds the lead. We've got 12 cars in the mix now for the race victory, and any one of them would be a deserving winner at this point. How many of these cars would be first-time winners? You got Cam Cole, A.J. Jones, Echo Evans Ross, Austin Zorgan, Eric Monaco. That's at least 5 of them right there.
5, and all of them really would love to be able to pull off the upset here, take advantage of the way things have gone, but they got to get by Bouchard.
Yeah, and if you add Bouchard and Bolton, drivers who have endured lengthy winless droughts, that adds some intrigue to this race as well. We're closing in on pit stops, though. We're about 5 to 8 laps away from that happening. And I would hope these guys would all come in together, but I doubt they will. They're going to try and pit with whoever they trust to draft with. And at this point in time, it's going to be it's impossible to predict these kind of races. But I hope we get some good racing from here on out.
And don't look now. Well, you talked about it. Henley's already back in the pack and already back in the top 5. He didn't let that setback keep him down.
Yeah, and you can see Teskar, Crown, and Young back there. They're working together. They're running in the draft together, but I don't think it's going to be enough for them at this moment in time. It's Bouchard that continues to lead, though. Off of turn 4 into the tri-oval. Bouchard looking to snap a very long winless drought.
Very long drought, and oh boy, what a celebration there would be for him if he could win. He's got to hold up McMillan, who's going to the inside now, bringing Henley with him.
And Justin Hutchinson's going along too. I think if Bouchard can slot in between the 4 and the 10, he might be okay. I just don't think he'll be able to because Hutchinson's drawing closer. And you see, here's a group of 4 cars running together. Jeffrey Finguy, Brantley Gage, Patrick Smith, and Zachary Fitzwater. They're all running together several seconds off pace. They're all going to go a lap down pretty soon. And honestly, if I were these lead cars, the second I catch them, I'm making the move to pit road.
That would be the smart thing, but will it be what happens? We're about to find out. But honestly, it's going to be real challenging to see Hutchinson and McMillan right there hanging tough with each other, bringing Bolton to their inside.
And Henley is back in the lead once again. So this 4 car is doing a fantastic job once again. It's just going to be a matter of can he hold off the other 11 cars or however many are left by the time this race comes to its conclusion. We're going to find out soon enough, though, as pit stops draw ever closer here at Talladega.
We're close, and honestly, I think if Henley is not worried about it, if pitting were not an issue, I don't think he would be really worried, especially with him 3 wide behind him, not really challenging him at the moment, except maybe Cam Cole.
And even he moves up to the top of the racetrack. That makes way for Ben McDonald on the bottom. Henley's doing a very nice job in the limited amount of time he's had. His only previous top 10 in the Superstar Series before that win last week came right here. So he knows how to run on the Superspeedways. It's just a matter of will he be able to hang in there for the rest of the day. With these 11 cars racing very closely behind him, who knows how this is going to end.
Yeah, you talk about hit that top 10 for him, and that was in an equipment that wasn't the greatest. Here he is pretty much dominating right now in some of the top of the line equipment and equipment that he's already won in.
Absolutely. This is a fantastic start to Justin Henley's tenure at Revolution Racing. Here comes Jeff Bolton, though, to the inside of McDonald. Henley's going to go down the block, but Bolton should be able to get by this 12 car, make a move up into the second spot.
Second, maybe for the lead if Emma Carter can get up there to him, but doesn't quite look like she's going to get there in time, and there goes Henley back to the bottom.
So Henley holds on for the moment. Cam Cole all by himself on the top lane. Going to try and settle back in at the back of this group, try and make his way back to the front. I fully expect pit stops to come in the next lap or so. At maximum, the next 5 laps. We only have 19 cars on the lead lap at the moment. 12 of them are in this lead pack battling for the lead.
That's crazy, and oh, crazy. That 44 is starting to creep back into the picture after it looked like a few laps ago was just barely hanging on to the draft, and now back in the mix.
Just goes to show you how things can change in an instant here at Talladega. Henley continues the lead. Carter now forges into second spot ahead of McMillan, Bolton, and A.J. Jones. Man, wouldn't it be something for Jones if he could hold on to win this race? Because both his teammates were effectively eliminated in that big accident. But for A.J. Jones, he's been known to be an aggressive driver. He's shown that a lot this year and last year for good measure. But he's doing a nice job here in the Superstar race at Talladega. He's running in the top 5. Could he get that maiden win?
That'd be an impressive thing right here. I mean, we talked about it all throughout the race. There's several of them that really would love to have that very first win, and there's pit stops.
Hutchinson and Zorgan are the ones coming into the pits now. So that brings us down to 10 cars in the lead group. A few others were coming in too, Patrick Smith being one of them. And you can see, he's missing from that lead group. Austin Holloman looks like he actually already made his pit stop. As you can see, he's now quite a ways behind. So he cycled back out a lap down. And those 3 are about to get lapped a second time. And that's really going to hurt their self-esteem a little bit. But it looks like pit stops are fast approaching as the remaining 10 cars go for it here.
And he's probably not going to be too thrilled he's saying it, but honestly, we talk about how drivers hate lap cars as more. Never mind, more. Well,
McMillan came in cooking into the pit lane. Hopefully, that's not a speeding penalty for the 21 car. Roberto Crown Jr. also makes his way to pit road. That was a very close call for them. And then there were 5. It is Emma Carter, Echo Evans Ross, Eric Monaco, Cam Cole, Daniel Bouchard, your top 5.
And Carter and Evans Ross are scooting away at the moment because of that shuffle, but never mind. They're going to get caught real quick if they go side by side here.
Yeah, it's going to be real interesting to see because if they're both going to try and pit this lap, that's going to cause a lot of trouble because I think Ross let her back in, and that's probably for the best if those 2 are going to pit together, which I believe they should as they come off of turn 4. Moment of truth time. Let's see if they come in, and yes, they do.
And that leaves Cole going along with the 2 Genesis teammates to stay out. This is really going to make the race interesting because there's no guarantee they're going to pack back up unless we get a caution or something. So this will be fun to watch.
Indeed it will. As Bouchard goes back to the lead, Monaco second, Cam Cole third. No one else is really in the picture, aside from Cale Tesco Jr. and Dylan Young about 2.5 seconds back. They also have not come to pit road. Here comes Monaco down to the inside.
And Cole thought about going on, and he might do a triple take, or maybe not. Hopefully they start this out, because if they're pitting this time, this could get real interesting, even with just the 3 of them.
It usually does get interesting here. These are the last few cars to pit under green flag conditions. Here comes Cole and Bouchard. They're coming in pretty late. Oh, and Cole hooks the 73. He goes around in the tri-oval. This could make things really interesting if a caution comes out for this.
And we'll see. Does it bring out the caution? No, it does not bring out the caution. That is absolutely surprising. But Bouchard's deciding he's going to try to recover here, and his day is pretty much ruined.
And that's a shame. Bouchard had a really fast car today, but a spin from off the bumper of Cam Cole puts him into the pit lane, a really weird angle. And now Jake McMillan's going to cycle back to the race lead, but he's going to be all by himself. And then you have Zorgan, Hutchinson, Bolton, and Henley These four are going to be able to track him down in a rapid rate.
Rapid rate and probably swallow him up, and the mix-up starts all over again, and it looks like it's going to be down to a pack of 5.
Maybe a few more if A.J. Jones can get caught back up. But, yeah, the field's going to be whittled down even further for this. As they've caught Brantley Gage to put him a lap down. Bouchard finally exits the pits. That's going to ruin his day. But how about this? Austin Zorgan, first career start in the Superstar Series, in a net second place right now, trying to chase down the leader, Jake McMillan.
And he's probably looking back and being very happy to see that Ford nose of that 38 of Jeff Bolton behind him. They've got a little bit of work to do to be able to get up there to McMillan.
It shouldn't be that hard, though, because McMillan's running all by himself, and the other four, even if they're running side by side, and even if they have the 99 with them, they will be able to run down this 21 just because of strength and numbers. But don't forget, Jake McMillan won the Daytona 500 this season, and his teammate Ben McDonnell won at Atlanta. So a lot of good cars here trying to make something happen. Could Venta Motorsport go for the triple here on the Superspeedways?
It's possible. We're going to find out soon enough, but this is going to be interesting to watch as the 44 as Zorgan gets shuffled out again.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting battle for the lead as Bolton gets shuffled up high, Hutchinson goes underneath. This is going to be really close because McMillan is just up the road from these guys and they're gaining time every lap.
Gaining time and closing in quick, and McMillan's spotter's got to be saying be prepared to block or be swallowed up, either one.
Yeah, and don't forget about A.J. Jones. He's getting a draft off Brantley Gage. He should be able to catch up to these guys in a little bit of time. But you're right, McMillan is going to get swallowed up by the pack, even if it's only 4 cars. As Hutchinson dives to the inside of McMillan, they're going to lap past Felix Anderson. Oh, Anderson, this is not where you want to be. Trust me on this one.
Yeah, that's definitely going to allow Jones to catch up if he can hang it. And there we go. He's back into the mix. There's 6 cars battling for it, with a couple of lappers thrown in for good measure.
And I expect him to drop Anderson here if at the first opportunity. But Brantley Gage doesn't have a lot of damage on that 99 car, if any. I think he might be able to hang on to these guys if they let him stay.
Yeah, he is going to be able to stay, and it's influencing this race for sure, just as much as the 53 is. This is going to be fun.
And remember, that Team Shocker Automotive that fields that 99, they just got announced a technical alliance with Finish Line Motorsports, with Hutchinson in control of that. So they're putting on a strong run, as it looks like Jake McMillan and Austin Zorgan may lose touch as we look back to the second pack, about 6 seconds off the lead. Roberto Crown Jr. heads that with Emma Carter, Ben McDonnell, and a few others. They're probably not going to be able to win this race unless something crazy happens at the front, but you never know what could happen here. We're closing in on 10 to go, but I think for McMillan and for Zorgan, they may just lose it here.
And you might even lose A.J. Jones because he's kind of falling back a little bit unless the ones that behind him form up and they can draft together. And well, we'll see. Henley leads the way once again.
Yeah, but they're about to catch Chris Lattimore, and he makes his way to the top and lets them all go. And he really doesn't want to let his teammate get caught up behind him. Oh, but this is going to slow up the 44 and 21. This is the one that might knock them all out of contention.
Yeah, I can guarantee Zorgan and McMillan are fuming about that one, because that's not what you want to have is a lap car that's confirmed to be slower than you, has damage, hold you up, and take you out of contention for the win, especially for someone like Zorgan.
Yeah, but still a top 10 run for this team. That would be fantastic on debut. But he's going to be left thinking, what could have been? But we're closing in. We've got 11 and a half laps to go now. Jeff Bolton makes his way to the lead as Bouchard's getting ready to be lapped here in a few laps' time. It's going to come down to these 4. Bolton, Henley, Hutchinson, and A.J. Jones. One looking for his first win, one looking for back-to-back wins, one looking to break a long winner's drought, and one just looking for another victory.
Yeah, varying desires here in these top four, but all of them. It doesn't matter if you just won the week prior, like Henley, or if it's been a while, like Bolton or even Hutchinson. But you want that next win as soon as you get one. You ready for the next one, no matter when it comes.
Yep, and here's McMillan and Zorgan. They started tandeming together, hoping to try and run down the lead group just by themselves. This is effective. They're doing the best thing they can possibly do, not going side by side, staying single file with each other, and they're gonna try and run down this field. Let's see if it pays off.
Well, they're trying. We'll see how it works. They were getting a little bit shuffly up here in the top four, but they've straightened it out. We'll see what happens. And it looks like Jones might be in trouble here if he's not careful.
He should be all right as long as he can hang on to Bolton's draft, and it looks like he should be able to. But for McMillan and Zorgan, they gained a little bit of time, but not enough to make an inroads on this lead foursome. So it is Hutchinson out in the lead. Henley's going to make a move to the bottom. This is what McMillan and Zorgan want to see. These guys going side by side ahead of them.
Yeah, but Henley has no help. All the help is up there with Hutchinson. Okay, now Jones goes inside along with Hutchinson, but yeah, this shuffling, like you said, this is what they want to see there in 5th and 6th.
The question is, will it be enough? Because we're coming to 9 laps to go now at Talladega, and one of these 4 should be your winner unless McMillan and Zorgan get a move on here. They should be able to close up a little bit more, but will it be enough is the big question.
And we're about to find out here, and there we go. It did help just a little bit, but it's still not quite what you need.
No, they're going to have to hustle or hope that Bouchard slows them up a little bit. It's going to be very interesting to see for the rest of this race. You see that second pack back there. They're quite a ways off the pace. They're not going to be able to make any gains. You see Brantley Gage just falling back there. But here comes Henley for the lead once again on Hutchinson with push from the 31 of A.J. Jones.
I'm telling you, this number four car, I honestly think they did Revolution Racing. They did the right thing putting Henley in this car. It's already paying off big, even if he doesn't win today. Winning a top 5 going back to back in that way is still quite impressive.
Oh, absolutely it will be. But here they come to lap Daniel Bouchard. This is going to be a key moment in this race. If Bouchard... Actually, Bouchard's probably... If he can can stay with these guys, he might be able to keep in touch. Well, the question is, will they let Bouchard into their pack?
Yep, that's the answer for you right there. They will not. They are
unless Bouchard forces the issue and slots in behind the 10 and forces them to let him in which case they won't really have a choice, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Pulls down right behind the 10. Bolton makes a move on Jones for second. Looks like Bouchard's going to try and stay in touch with the leaders.
Trying, and honestly, with not very much damage on that car, it doesn't look like he's doing a good job. He might get in there in front of McMillan and Zorgan, but he's not falling too far off though.
Yeah, I think it was just a difference in speed. He's getting back up to it now. But Polanski's up there. He's going to get lapped for us another time in this race. So with Polanski going another lap down, and with only 6 laps to go, I don't know. This is going to be really interesting for the rest of this race. Will Zorgan and McMillan be able to catch up now that Polanski's in the way?
Well, they lost that 3/10 they had earlier, but with Polanski here, we're about to find out.
He's blocking both those lanes equally. At this point, McMillan and Zorgan should be able to make a really big gain. Let's see what it is with the line here. Look at them. They're making huge inroads now.
Yeah. They don't get Polanski out of the way soon, they're going to have 2 more contenders for this one, and yeah, they're there. They are there. This race just got even more interesting once again as Hutchinson's the one caught behind the wounded 18.
Yep, we now have 6 cars in the mix for victory here at Talladega. Henley, Bolton, Jones, McMillan, Zorgan, and Hutchinson all in the mix for victory here at Talladega. We are approaching 5 laps to go. Who is it going to be among this group? As they come up to lap Stephen Gale next, they move to the top of the racetrack.
Lap him again here, and Bouchard he gets caught on the bottom. They're getting up. Oh, here comes Zorgan and McMillan. Oh, this is getting wild.
Could it be narrowed down again to just Henley and Bolton here? Because Gale's holding up everybody else behind. Zorgan's now up into third now.
Wow, that's going to be huge. I mean, that's going to be a huge confidence booster for him. I don't think he's going to care that it was caused by the big one happening super early, but that's just going to be big. And you got Bolton and Henley. Yeah, I think you're right. Pending something crazy happening, I think it's between these two now.
And don't forget, that 44 is going to run the remainder of the season with Suleiman Sariev behind the wheel. So this is going to help them in the owner's points battle as well, a top 5 run here, potentially. As Henley gets underneath Bolton, we are coming to 4 laps to go this time.
They keep swooping behind each other, and yeah, they're already starting to catch back up. The spotters are going to be saying, why didn't you just stick ahead and get further ahead? It's a little too late to do anything now because here they are.
Yep, and A.J. Jones might have finally lost his lead draft. He's fallen a second behind Austin Zorgan. His hopes of victory might just have been dashed. But we still have 5 contenders for the win here at Talladega, plus the black car of Daniel Bouchard. Who is he going to help? Could he decide the outcome of this race? He's acting as a buffer between Henley and the rest as we come to 3 laps to go.
He's being a buffer, but I don't think we've talked about McMillan and that whole organization, how they've been really good at these draft races, and honestly, I don't think he's going to stay content with second, and I would not be surprised if Zorgan tries something either.
3 more laps at Talladega. Henley's doing a great job. He's got Bouchard as a drafting partner, keeping everybody else behind. Could Henley make it back-to-back wins to start his season? Only time will tell. We've got 2.5 laps to go. Cam Cole's up ahead to be lapped. I don't think they're going to get to him in time, though. Here comes McMillan underneath Bouchard, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think McMillan has to stay tucked in. Zorgan now gets underneath McMillan, and Bouchard gets underneath Henley now.
Bouchard wants that. He doesn't care if he still finished on the tail end. This could really help Zorgan, Hutchinson, and Bolton. But what we're going to find out is we're coming to 2 to go now.
Imagine Austin Zorgan winning this race on debut for Pirate Bay Motorsports. You thought last week was a miracle. Imagine what this would be like. As here comes Zorgan underneath, but he gets pushed up high by Hutchinson. That's going to end his challenge for at least the moment.
For the moment, but I don't know. Finally getting shuffled back. Zorgan's got McMillan. He might still have something here, but he's going to have to rebound with this final lap and a half. We'll see how this goes as we got another lapper coming up here.
Yep, that's Cam Cole. They probably actually will catch him by the end of this race. That could shuffle things up as Bolton now goes down to the inside, coming to the white flag this time.
Coming to the white flag, but you got Cam Cole on the inside lane. Will he stay there and hinder the inside line, or will he try to find a way to move out of the way and maybe only hinder Bouchard?
Jeff Bolton coming to the white flag. He has not won in 80 races. This could be his big chance right here. McMillan dives to the inside, but Cam Cole comes down to cover him off. That could allow Bolton and Hutchinson through up top.
It could, or I don't know. He might be able to get up to speed and do something here. We got lappers here, and they are influencing this race whether they want to or not.
Jeff Bolton, if he can clear Cam Cole, I think he's got this race in the bag. In the turn 3, for the final time, Bolton does clear Cam Cole. This is going to be a huge day for Jeff Bolton and that race team. It has been 80 races since they've been to victory lane. Last time they did so was at Brands Hatch in 2020, but as they come off turn 4 for the final time, into the trial will they come, and Jake McMillan is not going to be able to do anything about it. Jeff Bolton, from 34th on the grid, breaks his long winless drought, and he's back in victory lane at Talladega.
I'm gonna say nothing runs like a deer. he certainly showed he had the horsepower today and survived the early carnage and came home a winner. This is gonna be a long celebration for that crew.
Jake McMillan comes home 10th and a half back in second. Not much he could do from that final lap. Justin Hutchinson, he's going to be thrilled with his alliance partner getting to victory lane. He comes home third. Justin Henley makes it 2 top 5s in his return to the sport in fourth. And Austin Zorgan, on debut, comes home in 5th place. That is a fantastic run for that team. They will surely be happy about that. AJ Jones faded to 6th at the end, ahead of Cale Tesco Jr., who made a nice rebound into the top 10. He comes home 7th. Roberto Crown Jr. 8th, ahead of Emma Carter and Ben McDonnell, running out the top 10 just ahead of Monaco and Evans Ross. They were your lead lap finishers at the end of the day. But man, from 34th to the win, Jeff Bolton sure hasn't forgotten what it's like to win races, even though it's been almost 3 years since his last one.
3 years? I don't think it's going to matter. Like I said, this is going to be a long celebration for that 38 crew, and I honestly wouldn't blame them for partying real hard on this one.
I will correct myself. Dylan Young was still on the lead lap, but 22 seconds off the lead. So 13 lead lap finishers, 23 finishers in total. Half the field was knocked out on lap 3, but the rest of the field put on a fantastic show. But we do extend our hopes to Autumn Koger that everything is all right after that wicked crash in turn 3 on the opening few laps. We'll provide word on that as soon as it becomes available to us. So, from James Ellison and from myself as well, we say goodbye from Talladega. We'll see you again in a few weeks for the All-Star Race at Lebanon Valley Speedway, a race which Jeff Bolton has now qualified for with a big win to end a long, long winner's drought here at Talladega.